Hello everyone, today in this video we'll fight against the atmosphere of our world around us, and today we will continue our reflections on the current madness, I would say global madness, and as the amateur historian, always fascinated by our ancestors, by the ways they follow properly and also by the ways they didn't follow properly. I try to extract as much as possible knowledge and as much as possible wisdom from the events from the past. And the current level of madness we reached in especially so-called West, especially Western Europe, geographically speaking, West of course, can be compared to the level of madhouse civilizations of Maya and so-called Aztec, so Mexicana people, reached in the times of the late medieval period of their European counterparts, so 14th, 15th century and a little bit earlier Maya. I mean this massive human sacrifice and this fascination of death by the ruling elite of the city-states, and waging wars only to get more and more prisoners of war, POW, to sacrifice them later on the stony altar and just to take their heart out and to dedicate it to some gods like Tumulkan and others, just to make sure that sun will rise again on the next day. Since the Spanish conquest, such barbaric practices were completely suppressed and they faded away, and somehow sun is rising each day without this bloody sacrifice. But these civilizations were really fascinated by that, and they reached the level of madhouse we couldn't imagine since recently. And in my opinion, last events with famous Chinese friend, Microbe, now not so famous, and now with this Ukrainian madhouse we experience especially in Poland, remind me the level of disconnection with reality that was reached by so-called Aztecs, so Mexicana people, and Maya people, like 500, 600 years ago and a little bit earlier than that. So, in my opinion, sometimes civilized societies reach incredible development for their times, prosperity, and sometimes something gets wrong and they go into madhouse that leads them to self-destruction. We have to recall that Mexicana cities had beautiful channel system, very efficient, that enabled them nice irrigation in the place that would become Mexico Valley, and in many other places. They had toilets in public places and many things that surprised Spanish visitors and subsequently conquerors of these lands. Therefore, we cannot say that these were only barbaric primitive societies. No. These people or inherited after predecessors or developed to some extent, maybe partially this, partially that, some level of civilization, technical developments that need to be appreciated. But despite of these things, they reach a level of ideological and religious madhouse that was leading them to collapse. That is why, in my opinion, now I will say something for which leftist thinkers would hate me. In my opinion, Spanish conquest liberated them from this madhouse and offered them normal life. Of course, there were some exploitations of these people, new diseases, and many other bad things. But at the end of the day, they got practically normal religion. They got some social order in which there was a place, better or worse, for everybody, and no one was killing anybody for nothing in such a brutal way. So Spanish colonization and its effect needs to be evaluated honestly, but they have to be evaluated with respect to this, what Spanish explorers encounter once they reached these lands. It shows us the naked truth, which tells us that we cannot make this mistake when we evaluate events from the past, that we take our understanding and our moral standards and simply impose them on the events from the past. We need to compare them with themselves and always look what was before and what came next. Then we can have proper evaluation of the events that followed very pivotal moments of the history of some region. All the best. Have a nice day. Bye.